Hi guys, good evening. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And this is our Wyoming Life Live, Ranch Talk, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for coming out with us tonight. We've got a great show in store for you this evening as we have Cody Creelman, the Cow Vet, is going to come hang out with us. In fact, he's hanging out with us now. You can chat with him and ask him questions. We will be going live with him right around 7:35, right after mail calls. So stick around for that. We're going to have a good time with Cody. If you've never got a chance to watch his channel before, I urge you to go check it out. You can pretty much find him everywhere. If you just search Cody Creelman, and you'll find him on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and what's the other one?
Twitter.
Twitter, yeah, exactly. What's wrong with
Nothing.
you? Isn't that rough of a night already? We have been hit by a storm here the last few days, and that means no sleep for either one of us, because if I'm getting up in the middle of the night to go check cows, I'm waking up Erin, and I'm waking up half the house when I forget to turn off the floodlights on the gator.
The lights didn't wake me up.
Really? Oh my gosh. The other was last night. I went to the shop, jumped in the gator. I had turned on that light bar on the gator, came pulling out of the shop and hit the house. And I was just like, oh, I just woke up everybody in the house because it had to, I mean, that thing is bright.
Yeah, no, nobody woke up for that. So. What I do is I wake up, I always ask you what time you're planning to go out. So I wake up like before that, or like when your alarm goes off, and then I take a little nap, and then I wake up like when you're supposed to come back in. But then like last night you changed what time you were going to go out. So I wake up at 4:20 and I'm like, he didn't go out yet. Do I wake him up? And so I lay there until you get up.
So last night I went out, 12:30, something like that, and checked all the cows. But everybody was doing relatively okay. I had scheduled to go out at 4, and I pushed that back to 5:30 because I figured they're all okay, and they weren't doing anything. So really nothing. With the storm, I thought for sure that with the change in the barometric pressure that we would have some more calves. And these cows are, wow, that was loud. I should put that somewhere else. These cows are really, really holding it together, so to speak. They are not letting anything go. I don't even think you could squeeze a fart out of them right now. They're just ready. They don't want to do anything. And we do have the one calf out there still.
Just one. He's so lonely.
He is very lonely.
I thought one was in labor, like, you know, because we can see him out of the house. And I was looking out the kitchen window one night, and she's laying on her side, and she's got that like beached whale, and I can see the big hump of the belly, and her legs like all kicked out weird, and her tail's like flicking. I was like, Mike, she's pushing. Oh no, she was just flopping around. Which when I was pregnant, I felt that way too. Just like,
I remember I remember you being 9. You went. Did you go over with Lincoln?
I was 1 day before my due date. Before we, I went to the hospital 2 days before due date, but didn't have him till after midnight. So 1 day. Right.
Speaking of which, Cody Creelman's going to be here later, but he just had some big news, and Diane, his wife, is pregnant, and they are expecting their 3rd child. So
congratulations.
If you do see Cody in here, be sure to congratulate him, because once they outnumber you though, it's all downhill from there.
It's a whole different game.
It's a whole different ball game. So tonight our plan is this. We have mail call coming up right about half past the hour, 7:30 or so, whatever time zone you're living in. It reminds me when I used to do radio, and I had a syndicated show, and I had listeners all over the United States. So I never knew what time it was when people were calling me. So that's where you get into that. If you ever listen to the radio and they say, hey, it's half past the hour, you're not listening to a local show. There you go. So we have mail call coming up at half past the hour. We have Cody Creelman coming up, and we figured we'd answer some questions. We do have a few things we want to get you back up to speed on. We're going to take a look at the cows. We're actually going to show you the webcam that's shooting right out this window over here, where you can watch the cows. If you're a Patreon supporter, for just $1 a month, you can watch the cows. And we're going to take a look at Lincoln's week. He has had if you get the herd report, which is our newsletter, it goes out on Monday, Lincoln had a heck of a weekend. Literally. Sunday. And Monday was rough. Monday was a rough day.
Well, I mean, there was 20 minutes of each day that was rough. Well, Monday was a little longer.
For a 3-year-old, 20 minutes of horrendous pain or whatever, that does make for a rough day. So we might as well talk about that since we're into that now. Our son, Lincoln's 3 years old, and he was up at Grammy's house on the swing set. and playing around the swing set. And the swing set came back and got him right in the tooth and knocked that bad boy right out. So he ended up having to go to the dentist. Am I going too fast for you here? He ended up having to go to the dentist to get his root removed.
I was there in real life, so.
You don't care too much. Came home and was a bloody mess for a while. And then him and I went out and checked cows, where he found a turtle. Which apparently made everything all better.
With a bloody mouth. Yeah, he came back in a much better mood.
Right. He had to wear that gauze in his mouth all day,
He bled for like hours.
Yeah. There he is up in the tractor. So for what could have been a bad day, actually didn't turn out too horrible for him anyway. He got to go ride in the tractor. He got to check the cows.
Did you, and so now he's missing a tooth. So,
and hopefully not missing the other one, because he did hit the other one too. So that one is loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
And he's on antibiotics, and we're trying to get that, because if he loses both teeth, then the poor kid gets a...
he gets a partial.
He gets a partial.
And we could do a partial now. We'll see how he does with his speech, but if he loses the other front tooth, he will definitely develop a lisp. Having no two front teeth when you're 3 years old, you'll get a lisp. So yeah, we'll see how he does and make sure he's not starting to develop a lisp with even one tooth missing, and hopefully that other tooth will heal up, because he did bump it loose and it looks a little crooked, and we're on antibiotics and he hates the antibiotics, but there's a hole, so you just shoot the antibiotics in the hole. And we actually haven't done the tooth fairy yet. I do have his root. The whole situation's been a bit traumatic, and he sleeps in our bed part of the night. It's difficult to sneak into his room. The tooth fairy is going to have a hard time getting in and out of his room, so I feel bad for the tooth fairy. So hopefully she'll come after he is, he climbs in our bed somewhere between like 2 and 5 in the morning every night. So pretty much.
And that's my fault, because like I said, I'm waking people up when I'm going out and checking cows and doing all that kind of stuff. So the cows are actually doing really well. We've had a little bit of a blizzard come through the last few days. We had an inch of rain lead into it.
Yeah, an inch of rain.
And then that rain turned into snow, and we got about 6 inches of snow or so. It's really hard to tell, because that snow has turned into
much water.
Yeah, it's really, really like a...
And it didn't freeze hard until it snowed all day yesterday. The kids didn't have school, and it was melting yesterday as it was snowing. Like my mom's driveway, like all melted off, and so like it was hard to see actually how much snow we got, because it was melting so fast. But that inch of rain first, we have puddles everywhere. All the mud had dried up. We were done with muddy season. Which was nice. And yeah, now we're back into mud season.
Yeah, and it's a muddy mess, and it's not even mud. It's like I said, it's like mush. It's snow and slush and just horrible ickiness going on everywhere. So that gets us up to speed. We're going to take a look at the cows here a little bit later, and really quick, I guess I can give you a sneak peek of the outside webcam. This is looking outside the window. This is a live view directly outside the studio windows here, and as you can see, the cows are getting out and moving around a little bit. They are locked in right now because of the snow and how wet everything is. If I do have a calf, I'd rather have it close by right now, even though, see, it's a toss-up, because they're locked in about 20 acres. That 20 acres is a muddy mess.
That whole right-hand side down there, where it's not bright white, that's all water. That's all standing water.
Yeah, so it's kind of a very, I can let them out and let them go out into the 400 acres, but then I got to find them if somebody's going to have a calf. So right now they're locked in and getting to just do their thing. So that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. Should we answer some questions?
Let's find us a question, because I'm going to figure out this silly thing.
William, hey, it's Lisa's moisture for you guys' hayfields. Yeah, and this is actually the second week in April is when we need a good dump of moisture, and we got that. So now it's all dependent upon sunshine and warmer temperatures and continued rain between now and the end of June. So
right. Yeah.
This is a great start. Like, this is probably the best start we've had in a few years.
In probably 5 years, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
this
we've gotten some
really good rain, and the University of Wyoming came up here to the ranch actually at one point and did a study a few years ago. How long ago was that? It's like 7 years ago. They were up here and found out that it is that second, third week of April where that rain and the moisture really does matter.
Like, yeah, about the 10th or something. And like last year, I think it was more towards like the end of April when we got a big snowstorm, which was just almost a little too late, and then wasn't warm enough, and then we didn't get enough rain in May. So between now and the end of June, we need rain. But there is more rain in the forecast. We don't need it. Like for the next 2 weeks, we could go without rain, but
exactly.
It seems like once it quits, and if we don't see any rain in the 10-day forecast, it's like it's done.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I saw somebody asking about Yamama64 asking about updates on the Ranch Roundup. Ranch Roundup, the tickets are sold out. So if you do have tickets to the Ranch Roundup, what it is it's a meetup here at the ranch on August 24th. And you can come to the ranch and hang out with us. We have different vendors. We have different activities to do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. As for any updates, there's not really a whole lot going on right now.
Well, and I feel bad talking about it because tickets are sold. So if one of you guys wants to come and you're really excited about it, tickets are sold out.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And we've had so many people now that tickets are sold and they're trying to, can I please get a ticket? And it's like, 200 people is a lot of people to deal with in the first place. And 205 would be that much more.
And and if we allow 5 more, then we have to keep allowing 5 more. And so, yeah, we've been very strict on like, it's done and we are sold out. So let us do 200 this year and we'll see how it goes. And maybe we'll increase in 2020, or maybe we'll do it more than once.
Exactly. Thank you, Donnie, for the $1 super chat. We appreciate that. There was 2 of them,
actually. 2 of them, yes.
So, Donnie, thanks for the $2 in total. Are we going to have bouncy houses at the Ranch Roundup?
We don't really have that many kids coming, so I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
Like an adult bouncy house with adult beverages. Of course, you'd spill your beverage as you're bouncing. You'd have to put it in a sippy cup. But
here's one from Rodney. Is there more snow coming? Just
next week.
Like an inch.
Yeah, like another inch next week. So hopefully that'll be it. And then we can move into spring.
I mean, but it can snow into June. So somebody asked if it was Lincoln's adult tooth. No, it's still just a baby tooth. But Grace is she's 5.5 and still hasn't lost any teeth. And they lose bottom front teeth first and then top front teeth. I think Mackenzie. We found pictures of her finally. She was like 7 before she lost her teeth, and then still took quite a while until they came back in. So he's gonna be toothless for a while unless we do a partial, which is not the same as an adult partial, and there's brackets and wires and
it's a mess.
So he's probably gonna be toothless unless he loses that other front tooth.
$2 super chat from Clarissa there. How many calves on the ground? Just the one still. Number 1 is still a lonely calf out there. And like I said earlier, I really did expect that the change in barometric pressure would knock a lot of these girls.
I thought one was in labor today. I mean, like every day, I'm like, that one's going to have a baby.
Well, that's what I do too, is I drive around them and I'm like, okay, keep an eye on that one for the day. And then, 2 hours later, she's off doing something else. Yeah. She's changed her mind.
They're all so ready to go.
They are. Yeah, they are a mess. They look absolutely miserable.
When will the next cow cap? Any second now.
Yeah, really. Let's go back here to the camera. This is the cool thing. We got, when number 1 was born, people actually got to watch number 1 be born on the camera. He was born almost directly straight out towards that fence line. And he was born while I was feeding, actually. I went out to get hay from the hay yard, and by the time I came back, he was born. So he was somebody on the chat, because there's a little chat room next to the.
Can they see your mouse?
No.
No. Okay.
So I'm sure that's for your effect. I move around the mouse so that you can see what I'm talking about.
I knew where he was born.
So they were chatting on the chat room that's there with the webcam, and somebody said that one cow just turned into 2 cows. And that'll happen. That'll happen.
1 cow into a little mini cow.
That cow just broke off apart and took off with it. I don't know.
Mitosis.
Bill Carell, $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Bill. Thanks to America's farmers and ranchers, and every little bit helps. You're right. It's
thank you.
I actually, we put out that cost of ranching video quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And I still get comments on that video every single day.
We got a couple today.
Quite a few a day.
They told you were wrong.
Oh, of course. And that's one thing that it's. I've had people tell me that I've crushed their dreams with that video. And I think there was one today that said I crushed.
You know what? My dreams get crushed every time we get a calf check, and then I have to pay the bills. So.
Well, and there was one guy that commented today on it and said that there goes his retirement plan. That his retirement plan was to come and ranch in Wyoming, I guess.
And,
I mean, you can do it. You can do it. You just can't expect to get rich off of it. I think that's what people are missing. Like they think it's just going to be this big thing, and it's not. So
well, and you know, the video that you made on Sunday talking about how the farmer and the rancher were getting less and less of a percentage, and you guys as consumers are paying more and more money every year. So we've honestly, since we've been selling calves on the ranch, we've had one good year. Mm-hmm. One good year.
1 year where we could get ahead and actually do some good things or put money away.
And with having droughts and stuff, like this year is kind of a, I think we're all holding our breath a little bit. Like it's really, if we have to buy hay again.
If we have to buy hay again, we're up a creek.
It's going to be we're going to have to make some really hard decisions. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We're off to a great start. We're going to be super optimistic.
Exactly. JB Weld is back this week. Hey man, thanks for coming back and hanging out with us again. When is the summer hat switch coming? Somebody do me a favor. One of our moderators might be able to do this. Can you go back and look in the videos and see when I switched hats last year, because I was actually going to check that.
Yeah, I told you to switch last week. I was like, it's nice out because we had the best like spring. Like it has been gorgeous, like 50, 60 degrees. The mud's all dried up. It has been absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, and now it's winter.
Now it's winter again. Somebody go back and check and see what day I changed hats last year, because I'd be interested to know that. JB Weld also asked about Airbnb updates. Still working on it. I do. So sometimes I forget that the damn place is over there.
Yeah, you need to work on that.
I forget about it completely because I'm on this side of the road, you know, so I end up forgetting about it, basically.
But there's lights on in the house that have been on for a while.
In there.
Dave, you left the lights on.
So I still have to reframe out a spot for the oven, the stove, or whatever that thing is, and get the rest of the appliances.
You just need to put it on the project list, and in between checking calves, just go work on it.
That's kind of what I do anyway. So so that's still coming. So I have to have the Airbnb done by July 1st. Mm-hmm. That I know.
I know you, but you're going to start on it July 27th. June 27th.
I'll still probably get it done. I just won't sleep. Love the dance-off at the beginning of the cooking video. You know, I need to go back and watch it. I haven't went back and watched the cooking video, and you should have too, because apparently you touched your hair too much.
I touch my hair too much.
But
so you know what? I'm touching my hair, and I'm sorry if it bothers you guys.
Did you?
I don't remember the dance.
I don't remember the dance-off thing either. I must have gave a little, little dance or something. But
okay.
I need to go back and watch. I even called Matt, one of our moderators, Matt Fensel, and I said, hey. What the heck's the dance thing? And he's like, what are you talking about? But apparently I gave a little dance. So
thank you for the super chat, JB.
Yes, thank you very much. William Fitzer, why are you wearing a dress shirt tonight instead of your Wyoming Life shirts? You know, I just like to switch it up. I don't know. I just kind of felt like wearing a dress shirt.
I don't have one of those new Wyoming Life shirts. I should head over to our website into the store and get one of those new Wyoming Life t-shirts.
We need to get one for the kids too, because Mackenzie wants one really bad.
I know, the kids all need it.
And that reminds me, we got Cody Creelman coming up after mail call, so about 7:35. Cody Creelman will be here hanging out with us, the Cow Vet, and you can get his t-shirts too. If you go to his website, codycreelman.com, he's got some really cool t-shirts. And
I love his logo.
Oh yeah, and that's one cool thing about Cody. And we tried to do this in the past. We talked about naming our group, naming our followers, and having the herd, and that's kind of what we came up with. We don't use it that often. He's got the Palpation Nation.
He says it in every video.
Awesome.
Hello, Palpation Nation.
And I should really do that.
Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. That's very generous.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark. Let's see. Let's answer a few more questions. Anybody got a question for Erin? That would be nice. We got a lot of calving questions.
It's calving time of the year. It's fine.
Somebody asked about BLM land. Actually, there isn't really any around here. You have to get over in south and over in south.
There's some on 387, isn't there?
There might be some. I don't know, really. I think there is some down there somewhere. So, but we don't have.
We live in our bubble with no BLM land adjacent to the ranch.
Exactly. Let's see. How's calving going? Well, it's going.
It's not. I mean, we got one calf.
Yeah, we got one calf. It is going. We have technically started calving. I'm telling you that. We have started calving, and we're just waiting for the cows to realize that we've started calving.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh, for the $1.69 super chat.
Thanks, Josh.
It's a super great amount. We appreciate that.
Yeah, Josh is feeling frisky tonight.
Somebody asked how my apple trees are.
How are your apple trees?
I don't know. It's snowy. I mean, and
they don't. You don't want them to start.
No, I don't want them to do anything. They might be budding. 6 of them have died, so not great. I mean, that happened last year. So yeah, I only have 4 left, and I have not been out to. Someone says I'm louder than you. Sorry.
Are you really?
Am I louder? I haven't been out to check. They were underneath the way the snow drifted this winter, and we had a lot of blowing, drifty snow. I mean, one apple tree was under 5 feet of snow. So, I mean, we'll just see. Actually, and that's good because it insulates the root. So. Right. We'll see. Thank you, Jesus, for the $1 super chat. We appreciate it. And thank you, Josh, for $2.34. Next time, can it be $3.45?
Maybe he's got some sort of method going on here. You're supposed to figure it out. Maybe it's like a code. Maybe it's like the Da Vinci Code, and you got to write down how much Josh is super chatting each time, and then you work it out. There's some sort of algorithm in there, and then you'll find like a hidden treasure or
$1 billion.
$1 billion. See, look at that. Nobody's keeping track. I don't think anybody's told me when I switched hats yet. I don't think that's been found out. I got to figure that out because that's driving me nuts now.
It's weather dependent.
You think? It always is.
Yeah, I mean,
I never know when it's going to happen.
Wait till, the snow quits. We still have more snow in the forecast, just a dusting of snow, but it's not summer yet. Mm-hmm. It's not spring yet. Dan 821 says it was around May 15th, your Mother's Day video, you had changed hats.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, see, not yet.
So it's been, May is probably a good time to do it. Anything else going on in the garden? John Wooten is asking how the garden is doing.
I've got 200 head of lettuce in the high tunnel hardening and will be transplanted once we get through this cold weather. Broccoli, cabbage are transplanted great and doing really good. And spinach and radishes are up and they germinated really well. So
awesome.
And not ready to plant like summer peppers and tomatoes yet. So they're still in the house. So thanks, Josh, for $5.67.
We're a nickel and dime, Josh, all night long.
Thanks, JB Weld, for $10. Erin, what do you think of adding manure over time improves pastures? I think adding composted manure to your fields will improve your soil health.
Yeah, as long as it gets into the soil. I mean, that's kind of the big thing.
That's kind of the tricky thing.
We can fertilize and then not get any rain, and then it just sits there, kind of thing.
Yeah, and we let ideally you would compost your manure. It's always best to compost your manure to help get rid of the ammonia in it because the ammonia can be detrimental to your hayfields. So obviously we do let them graze the hayfields, and of course they do their business right on the hayfields.
They do.
But if we're spreading manure and stuff, like you just put a bunch of straw in the barn, like that's going to start composting when the weather warms up, and then that could go on the fields.
Exactly.
So.
M. Weber asked, when's the next cow check? Probably about the time we're done with this. I'll probably turn my head right back out so I can catch it before it gets too dark. But we can check them right now. Look at that. Hey, there they are. Can't see a damn thing, but those little black dots, those are cows.
What's that one cow way over there?
There is one way over on the right-hand side. If you can, I got the mouse on her. You guys can't see that. But there is one standing over there on the side, and she might be doing something. She might not. That's kind of the trick of the thing, and it is if you watch it on our website, you can make it a lot bigger so you can see what's going
full screen. I was trying to watch it on my phone today when I was waiting to pick up the girls, and I'm like, I can't see.
Pinch zoom.
And it's a cheap camera because they're expensive for the nice webcams that you can. It's not like a real zoom; it's a digital zoom. But we didn't go that route yet. So it was just. I can't see anything.
I've seen this question pop up a couple times. How many bales do we feed during calving? That's from Braden. It really kind of depends on the weather. Right now, and when it was nice, because we were up in the 60s for a little while, I was feeding and the cows were leaving because they're out chasing grass.
And it's not about bales, it's about pounds per cows.
Yeah.
And how much your bales weigh. So there's no you have 100 cows, feed 2 bales. You need to figure out how much your bales weigh and how much your cows need to be eating per day. And then
and right now cows are eating pretty heavy. They're eating really good alfalfa hay. And they've got lots of supplements and all kinds of good stuff out there. So they're all looking at Lori's comment. You better go check her. You better go check her. I'm busy.
You could just run over to the window. Out the window, it's much larger in real life. It's actually pretty easy to check out the window, especially when they're locked in, this close pasture.
Yeah, in fact, I've done that a couple times today, just kind of went and looked out the window to see what they're doing and how they're getting by. So
yeah.
I got to make sure that, I don't know if I turned on my microphone.
Oh, geez, is that why I'm louder than you?
It might be. Yeah, I might not have turned on my microphone. No, my microphone, see, you got these silly microphones. Is your microphone on? Your microphone's on. Isn't this classic? See, it's not connecting for some weird reason. That's why you're so much louder than me. Your microphone's probably picking me up. Hold on, we're just gonna do this really quick. See?
It's working?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Technical issues.
Someone said now I can hear you. Oh, it's working now. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Cool,
right.
Thank you. That's really weird. Okay.
What do I have to do to get an autograph tag? Well, nobody gets an autograph tag, so...
An autograph tag?
That's what somebody asked.
What kind of tag? Like a ear tag?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Nobody has one.
Huh.
Senseless fabrication. I have a 30 license. I have 30 license plates, maybe is what you're saying, but most of them are Nevada. But custom plates, do you want them? If you want to pay to mail them, we'll take them.
Yeah, we're filling up that wall fast. I should have went and taken some pictures of it, but I know that we have some license plates in mail call this evening, so we're going to be able to take a look at those. And the wall is filling up pretty darn fast. So any plates you've got, if you'd like to send them, we will get them on the wall and make it work for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Erin, have you ever thought about raising goats?
I don't want to try and keep goats in. We live right on the highway, and everybody that has goats and lives on the highway, usually the sheriff's department, frequents your house. Mm-hmm. So, no, I mean, we would maybe have a few pet goats, but they say they can hear you.
I know, it's driving me crazy because it doesn't look like it's working.
Now it's not working at all.
No, it's not working at all.
JB Weld, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you ever put the horses out with the cows? No.
Not usually, no. No, now I totally broke it.
The horses are, Brandon, the horses are just for our pleasure riding. Well, I don't ride. Mike rides. So they're just our pets.
They just hang out. Oh. Yeah. Have you ever thought about getting a farm dog? We have actually thought about getting a farm dog. We're going to get a farm dog. Another one. We have one now, but she's getting older.
She's not really a farm dog.
She lives on the farm. She's a dog.
She's a house dog. She's old.
She's old, and when she's gone, then we'll probably get a new dog at that point. And Erin wants a different dog, a bigger kind of horse dog type thing. And she's gonna do that. And
I want a Great Dane.
Old dog, yeah.
And you're gonna get a cow dog. So.
Yep, that's kind of the plan. So, let's see. Are we seven? Oh, it's not 7:30 yet. Autographed cow ear tags. Well, who are we gonna get to autograph them? The cows?
Well, we don't really
take the cows to autograph.
We don't really take them out or anything.
Well, we can buy tags and
sign them.
Yeah, get the cows to sign them. I have a Bambi signed cow.
We're not going to get a blue heeler. Louise. What kind of dog do you want?
I don't even remember
I'm not a big fan of heelers. I know people love them. We want, every heeler that I've been around have been great dogs, but one-person dogs, and we need a family dog and something that's not going to herd our children around, because it will probably be in the house with the family. So.
Right, yeah.
We need a good cow dog. That's a good family and small children dog.
Yeah,
so.
there's a friend of ours. Catahoula, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
We know what it is.
Written down somewhere. So, what else we got going on? If you can get a cow to sign an ear tag, I'll buy it. Yeah, so would I, actually.
Maybe Bambi would.
She would probably, she'd at least lick it.
She'd lick it.
Yeah, slobber it for you. Now we're everybody's talking about dogs, but kids need her.
I mean, sometimes they do. That's I have a frog in my throat. Levi, no, we do not have pigs yet. Again, soon.
Soon, and Garrett, I don't think I have a Missouri license plate yet, but maybe soon. So we will see. Matt is breaking my dog. And Lori, that must be Hunter, Matt's new Doberman, just got back from puppy kindergarten. So.
Are you going to go take Hunter from Matt, Lori?
You could. All right. No, I don't have a Purple Heart plate either. I do have a couple. I have a firefighter plate. I have a couple police plates. Trying to think of what else I have. I do not have any Irish plates yet. I have German. I have New Zealand. Yeah.
I just saw one that was hidden because your email address was in it. If you want to adopt a calf, head over to our website or over to Patreon, and there is an option to adopt a cow on Patreon, and then you will in turn adopt her calf when she has it. So.
Exactly, yeah. The adopt a cow thing is something that we're just starting up and getting rolling. I kind of dropped the ball. I kind of had it going over the winter, and I kind of dropped the ball on it. But we're starting it up. Basically what happens is you can adopt a cow, and you get to pick your cow out of a lineup and kind of thing. And then you get updates monthly on where your cow is. You'll know when she has her calf. You'll get pictures of her calf when she has it. And just kind of gets, you can name the cow. You can do whatever you want, except for, come out and ride it or eat it.
Bambi's not available for adoption.
No, so. No, Mackenzie made it very clear that nobody could adopt Bambi, that Bambi is her pet cow. So. Yeah,
so, head over to Patreon. You can sign up for the webcam. You can get T-shirts through Patreon, and you can adopt a cow.
Yep, exactly. So. All right, let's hit it. Time for mail call. I still haven't built my catapult.
Everybody, every Tuesday Project List video, someone's like, what is a mail call catapult, or whatever you call it? You need to build that.
It's on the list. All right, let's see what we got here. Mail. And plates. So we did get a few plates this week. Minnesota, and these there's a letter in there that has these, but Minnesota plate, Nebraska plate. I'm doing this backwards. And these are from Everett.
Yeah, Everett's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Been in Minnesota for 50 years, in and out of farming.
Yep, and now they're in Nebraska. So.
Yes, to get away from the cold Minnesota weather. I don't blame you.
Don't blame you at all. The other ones that we got that are actually pretty exciting is our moderator, Matt Fensel, lives in Chicago, Illinois, and his parents sent us their. Now, usually on the wall, on the license plate wall, I don't put two states next to each other, but these plates will always be right next to each other on the wall because they are Mr. and Mrs. Matt Fensel's parents. So thank you very much, guys, for that. That's really cool.
It is cute.
That they had those. Number one is very cute.
Can I be Mrs. Owl?
You have been Mrs. Owl. People send me email. I just saw Mrs. Owl or Mrs. Our Wyoming Life at the
well, Our Wyoming Life doesn't fit on the license.
No, it does not. It does not. Let me see those.
Those are letters.
So there's a letter from Everett. Got a letter from
Charlene asking if we've ever fed the cows sugar beets.
Right, and nobody really grows sugar beets around here. But
other parts of the state grow sugar beets, but nobody really up in like the northeast corner. More so, like I think in like I'm guessing here, and I think I've heard this like Warland, Lander, like on the other side of the mountain, and maybe Torrington, where they have irrigation somewhat. And Sudan grass, we have looked into it. We have not grown it. I still don't. I don't know if Sudan grass will grow here. I think it will.
We'd have to look at it.
We need to try some.
The other thing that we got, this doesn't fit in the mailbag. I might have to stand up to do it.
It's heavy. It is heavy. I had to get this from the post office today.
So William Dunn, one of our moderators, I threatened to call him, but I'm running short on time here, so I'm yapping too much, and we've got Cody waiting for us. Sent us this.
Get your big arm out of the way.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
Get your big fat legs out of the way.
Can you pick up that end? There we go.
I can see
that
it.
Is the,
it says Our Wyoming Life, and there's a cow and a calf. That's like doing the weather on a green screen.
This is not green screen, but thank you very much, William. I don't know if he made this or if he commissioned it or what, but that is really cool.
It's really great. It came in a very big box that was really nicely packaged, and I go to the window, and there's this lady in front of me telling her whole life story. It took forever. When I got my package, he goes back and was like, I just need this package because I had my slip because that does not fit in the P.O. box. Oh, William made it.
I'm going to call you because I might have a commission for you now.
And then he comes back with this giant box, and I'm just like, oh, I'm one of those people. Like, I don't know why, but when I get big packages, I don't know, it like embarrasses me that we get these giant packages and then I have to carry them to the car. They did offer to help, and sometimes we get a dolly.
Sometimes we get more than one package, and then you have to bring a dolly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like embarrassing to me. I don't know. I say your mic's off.
Yeah, it's off because I think the battery died. I'm not going to change out the battery, so I'm just going to live off of Erin's mic. Hello. We're just going to sit very close to each other.
So, William, as soon as we unbox it, I know exactly where it's going to go. It's going to be a few weeks, but we have a plan.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
And we might need something else.
Yep.
Because we have a plan. We really like it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee. And thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Fensel, because
yes.
that's really cool too, guys. And we are regulars at our post office. Yeah. Yes, they know us there for sure.
Well, there's one lady. What are we sending today? Because we do all of our, some of our merchandise we don't ship. We contract through another company, but then some we do ship our own merchandise. So if you order an Our Wyoming Life whiskey glass, it's been packaged by Mike or Erin.
They're all stacked up right over there. So. Anyway, it's 7:36. We're running a little bit late. We're gonna catch up with Cody Creelman. He is part of the Palpation Nation. You can check
he's
him.
The leader.
He's the leader. Well, he's part of it too. But you can check him out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those good places. And I think I mentioned in our last video
Tuesdays
that he's the guy that you see online that wears a cow like a puppet. And if that seems like something that's right up your lane, you're going to want to stick around for this as we hook up with Cody Creelman.
I look in here.
Stay out of my gas hole.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Can you work the mouth? If you
Not yet. I'm a terrible ventriloquist as well.
Cody, thanks for coming on with us tonight, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. First of all, I just really wanted to touch base. There might be people who aren't familiar with what you're doing. So what I'd like to have you do is explain what you're doing, your social media channels, what you offer, and then why people should watch.
Okay, no, thank you. So I'm a beef cattle veterinarian, like we mentioned, just north of Calgary, Alberta. And my clinical home is Veterinary Agri Health Services. So we're a 7 veterinarian beef cattle only practice. So I practice on cow, calf, and feedlot only. So I'm spending my day preg testing cows and doing postmortems and fixing calves with broken legs and doing C-sections and pulling out baby calves and consulting and all the things that you would imagine a beef cattle veterinarian would do. And I share that on my channel. I share a video series that I've been doing since 2015 of just a daily documentation of my life out on the road as this beef cattle vet. So I take people with me on that adventure.
Is there what got you started into the whole thing? Did you just decide to just start videoing, or how did you get started?
Yeah, it was the primary tenet of it was just hyper-local marketing of my veterinary services. So I came in as a practice owner, 2 years out of vet school, bought in, and that was kind of my niche, was in terms of marketing this vet practice. I wasn't into videography. I wasn't into social media. I wasn't a techie person, but that was my niche within the practice. And I just kept exploring what that means in terms of marketing, digital marketing, and how you do that, and through that and multiple iterations of me just kind of figuring out through self-awareness what I was most effectively a good communicator with, that led me towards video. So it was, it at the end of the day, there's only 3 types of media, right? We have the written word, we have audio, and we have video. So you kind of just have to pick one and run with it. So I had recognized just through trying out a bunch of different things that I could with people with my about my veterinary services through video format, that I wasn't scared to point the camera onto my face and worry if I was cross-eyed or if I had nose hair sticking out.
Just that's what the mustache is for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So just a really great way for me to share my story. But the primary tenet was me just marketing my veterinary services. I wanted to show people that I was a good veterinarian, that my practice had great veterinarians, that we were good people. And when somebody needed a cow vet, then I wanted to be top of mind. So that was the start of it all, was just providing value out into the world to show people that we're good cow vets.
It's funny how a lot of YouTubers and people in social media kind of have the same story. We started, Erin does farmers markets and stuff like that, and we started making videos to market our farmers market business here in town. And then pretty soon we found out that there was people all over the world watching and said, well, they're not going to come here to buy a tomato, so we got to figure out a different way to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Obviously, we're coming out of winter. I hope you're coming out of winter into spring, but is there, for most vets and most large animal vets that I've known, calving season tends to be the time that they really like to be out in the field. They like to be working and stuff like that. Do you have a specific time of the year or season that you think is your favorite?
Yeah, so I do like calving time. Who doesn't love running around playing with the baby calves, and it's super cute time of year. But my favorite is actually the fall. I love when the cows come in off of pasture and the babies are raised and fat and happy, and everybody's fat and happy. And it's kind of the start of my rush season. So right when preg testing starts and calves get weaned, that's the busy season for me. And in Canada, that's still kind of relatively nice out. It's not too hot. We haven't gone into the deep freeze yet. There's no mud. Everything's still relatively green. So I really love the fall, just because it's busy and the weather's great. And it's just a very, I guess that's the true start of my year.
So is the summertime kind of your quiet time between calving and preg checking?
Yeah, that's right. So once everything goes out onto pasture, we still will get calls for individual animal medicine, but at that point, everything's kind of on autopilot. It's up to the rancher to treat out on pasture, and we're not semen testing anymore. Most of the calving's done. So individual animal stuff, but that's where we have a moment to just kind of get caught up and prep for the next year. So in the summertime, that's when we're revamping all of our cow-calf protocols, all of our feedlot protocols, making sure we have everything game planned, doing training modules, making sure that we have presentations planned for the training that we're doing to our cow-calf guys and our feed. So it's just kind of a lot of prep work before we get to unleash again in the fall.
I think one thing that really amazes people, one of the first videos that ever really struck a nerve with me that we did was we had a calf born premature, about 46 pounds or so, but he was out on pasture with his mom. Mom was old and she couldn't really take care of it. The calf went downhill and was getting wet and cold, and temperature was dropping. So we brought it in, and we kind of chronicled, giving the cow Banamine or whatever else we were doing, and just to get it back up to health before we put it back out with his mom. And I got a comment that somebody actually said that they always thought that ranchers and farmers were stupid. And here I am talking about, dosages, and, I have the epinephrine here ready just in case. And also, and I think that's one thing that people don't realize is how much brain power has to go in this to actually, make it successful. Gilbert, my father-in-law, he would put cows out, and put a bowl in with them and then come and round them up in the fall. That was pretty much.
And if they were sick, they got some LA 200, and that was it.
LA 200. And if he was sick, he got a little LA 200 too. That was their veterinary program, was to have a big old bottle of LA 200 laying around. And now you can't do that anymore. You have to have a plan.
Yes, absolutely. It is. I get the same comment all the time because, certainly with YouTube, there's people who are not from the farm and ranch background that are watching these videos, and I get the same comment. They're just blown away with the level of dedication that these ranchers have, that there's veterinarians that are just dedicated to going out on farm to these feedlots. Like I have clients that I'm on their farm 360 360 days a year. One of my teammates would be on farm. Like these feedlots, if you're a 30,000 head feedlot, people don't realize you'll have a vet there for 4 hours a day, just checking on things every single day. Christmas, New Year's, Easter, Thanksgiving, we're there every day taking care of these animals, and we're collecting data, we're doing data analytics, we're doing statistics. I always joke that I have better medical records on my cows in my feed yards than I do on myself or my children. Like I can tell you down to the mill what any product that any of the animals got at the exact time and what their exact weight was. Like it's so precise. That's another good point. When was the last time you got put on antibiotics by a human doctor and they actually weighed you to make sure the dose was appropriate?
Right.
It just doesn't
our son lost a tooth, swing set accident, and he's on amoxicillin. And nope, I just got a bottle and good luck putting it in his mouth. Luckily, there's a big gap. So
right, but it's it truly is precision agriculture. We have these teams of nutritionists, PhD animal scientists, veterinarians, ranchers that are very well educated, that have animal science degrees, that are applying all of these technologies into raising these cattle. It is more than what I think a lot of people think that it is. And I think what's more too is just the dedication and the amount of money that people spend on it. Like there's lots of things that I do that people say, like, I can't believe the rancher, has a vet out to do a bilateral nasal cleft surgery on a baby calf. And it's like, yeah, sometimes we do stuff like that.
One of the things that's funny to me is especially with vets that I've known and I've talked to, is you do get, there is somewhat of a rut, I think, that, you do the same procedures over and over again. Is there a common procedure to you that you've done so many times that it's just boring? Or are you one of those vets that's still, every day is exciting and it could be something new?
Well, that kind of speaks to why I became a cattle veterinarian, and a cattle veterinarian specifically. So yes, there is routine tasks, right? Going out and preg testing 500 cows in a day is certainly a routine thing. But I don't ever think of the routine part, because what's new is that experience and that conversation, right? The reason that I became a cow vet is because of cattle people. Like I loved all aspects of veterinary medicine. I loved small animal orthopedics, and I loved oncology and radiology. So I loved every aspect of it. But at the end of the day, the thing that I loved the most was the people that I got to spend time with. And for me, cattle ranchers are the best people in the world. They're the salt of the earth people. So why would you not be excited to spend every day with them? So for me, it's not going out to do a routine thing over and over again. I get to go hang out with my buddy Wyatt. I get to go hang out with my buddy Jim. Like that is the type of thing that I love. And there's still so much, chaos and excitement in terms of what I'm doing. So yeah, I could be booked to do something routine, but I could have an emergency obstetrical case the next second. I could be pushing in 3 uterine prolapses. Like, yes, for example, yesterday, for some reason, the Earth's gravity was extra heavy, and it managed to pull out a bunch of uterine prolapses out of cows for the whole day. You don't know what to expect. So the whole reason I became a cow vet was to be around farmers and ranchers, and then to embrace the chaos and the unexpectedness of this profession. That's what I fell in love with when I was 16 at my vet clinic for the first time, was like, anything could happen. I just love that part.
So we are in calving now, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about calving stories. I'll start with one of mine that we had a few years ago. This was right after we came to the ranch. Of course, when we came here, we didn't know anything, and we had a cow that was acting kind of goofy. She went. I thought she was in labor, then she wasn't in labor, and then she was, and then she wasn't, and we finally ended up bringing her in. And we used to have a couple road vets that we could get in here every once in a while, and one of them stopped in here, and we had her in a chute. She felt up in there, and she said, "Oh, you have 2 heads. There's 2 heads in here." So that's what's going on. So she said they're probably not alive, but at this point, but we do need to get them out. So we ended up taking the cow to town, and we were going to do a C-section, getting ready to do a C-section, and we had a vet in town that said, "No, I don't think it's 2 heads. I think it's 1 really big head." And it was a hydrocephalus calf that, the head was humongous. And
they did get it out.
They worked on her for a good hour or so, and they did all kinds of work to get that calf out. She did actually deliver it vaginally, but it was it was a mess. I mean, the calving things are there's the good side and there's the bad side. But do you have any really interesting calving stories you'd like to throw our way?
Yeah, well, I've seen the vast majority of the calf anomalies that can happen. Schistosomus reflexus, that's the inside out calf, where it's born kind of with the spine completely backwards, and then all the intestines and visceral organs are free floating in the uterus. So those ones, those calves go right to term. They're perfectly alive. They just have this very, very severe congenital abnormality. And depending on which way that calf starts to come out is kind of the phone call that you get. So if it's coming guts first, the farmer usually thinks that that the cow has ruptured something and all of her intestines are hanging out, or she has a uterine prolapse, and it's not the uterus that's prolapsed, it's all of these calves' intestines coming out of the vulva. So you reach in there and you determine that it's a schistosomus reflexus. So then you have to decide, can you get this out? Is the calf alive or not? Can we do a fetotomy where we actually cut pieces of the calf off of it when it's dead and pull it out piece at a time? Or do you do a C-section? So depending on how big it is, what presentation is coming, it is really dependent. If it's coming the other way, so legs or head first, you could have 4 legs all trying to come in the same direction. So it's a pretty grotesque anomaly that can occur. I had another one. It's called Perisomus elumbus, and that's essentially where a calf is born without a lumbar vertebrae. So it doesn't have the set of lumbar vertebrae and doesn't have a spinal cord basically after the where the ribs leave the spine. So these calves have this really like wobbly back end, but then the legs are completely fused. So the last one I got was coming backwards, and the rancher called me at 3 a.m. and he said, I'm pretty sure there's a dinosaur in there, because he could not figure out what he was feeling. It was a pretty easy calving. I had to do a fetotomy, so it was already dead. Cut off the back legs and pulled it out. It was a pretty small calf, but it's a pretty crazy anomaly. But I think in terms of the most trying calving that I had ever had was in a Hereford heifer. And I came to her before she had calved because she had prolapsed. So Herefords like to prolapse vaginally. It's a hereditary condition with them. And when I took a look at her prolapse, her vaginal prolapse, she had 2 cervixes. So 1 cervix and 2 cervix staring me right in the face. And I wasn't sure if they were both open all the way to the uterus, because you can have a few different permutations of that. You can have 1 cervix that goes right into the uterus and the other one is blind-ended, or you can have one that goes into one uterine horn and one into the other uterine horn. So I didn't know exactly what I was dealing with, but I pushed everything back in and said we were going to have to watch her. And lo and behold, a few days later, it's time for her to start calving. So the farmer pulls the stitch, no problem. And as she's calving, the calf is stuck. So I get called back out and I go to assess what's happening. And of course, the calf's one leg came out of one of the cervixes and its head and the other leg came out the other cervix. So it had this band of cervix in between its shoulder. So I actually had to do a surgery to cut that cervix in order to make 2 holes into one. And then recognizing that calf is still not going to come out, it ended up going to C-section. Oh, wow. So it was an absolute disaster to have 2 cervixes and try to calve a calf through that.
I'm guessing you recommend to sell that cow after that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, with vaginal prolapses, because it's a heritable condition, all vaginal prolapses should be called. Uterine prolapses, you don't have to call them. If they catch back, breed back, they are fine. But vaginal prolapse should be called that fall.
One thing that's really cool about your channel, and I hope that people go check it out, is the fact that you're not censoring anything.
Right.
There's no pixelation. Thank God there's no smell in because I've watched a few videos where I'm like, oh, do you even have a sense of smell?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it was, you know, I guess it's my job, right? I'm proud of my job. And yeah, there's lots of penises and prolapses and dead cows and things as part of that. And it's a tricky thing when you're trying to speak to the public and you don't want to be grotesque, but like, this is my everyday job. Like, I go out and do a post-mortem, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's interesting. I think it's educational. So there's those types of things as part of it. And I just want to be authentic.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, where can people find you and learn more?
So my username just about everywhere is just Cody Creelman Cow Vet. I have a website that'll direct you to pretty well everywhere. But Cody Creelman Cow Vet on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Just type in Cow Vet and you should find one of my videos. And then also the podcast. Really, so once again, on to anywhere you listen to podcasts, and that's been a really fun experience as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure that you've got a field call waiting for you.
Prolapses are dangling.
We will let you go, man. Thanks a lot. And thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, guys.
Again, thank you very much, Cody. That was awesome. We just, I love the vet that's just dedicated to cows.
Yeah, I love that too.
I mean, that's very cool. So be sure to check him out online. Just go to codycreelman.com. You can also check him out on YouTube, Facebook, the Twitterverse, and all that kind of good stuff. So
Join the Palpation Nation.
The Palpation Nation, yeah. Did you learn anything there?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
That was pretty cool. So thank you again, Cody. And thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to answer questions for a little bit longer here, and then we're going to call it good. We've got to get kids, and it's a school night and all that kind of good stuff. Check the cow. Well, actually, let's pull up the webcam once again, and we'll check that cow over there and see what she's doing. Not that we can see her from up here, but there is a cow over there on the right-hand side.
Still by herself on the far right.
Yeah, all the way up there by that fence line. If you have a big enough screen, you can probably see her. But I'm not sure what she's doing over there. I have to go check her right afterwards.
Baby.
She could be. I would hope so. I have the feeling that, these cows have been crossing their legs for a long time. When it goes, it's gonna go. We're just gonna be rolling them. We're just gonna be pumping them out.
In reality, like, you got to get through tonight, and if they start calving tonight, you're gonna have a long night because it is still really wet and it's really cold.
And it's gonna be that way for a while. I think we don't have any temperatures getting up in the 50s for quite a while.
No, but it is gonna hopefully dry out soon and stuff. So tonight's the worst night that we have in the forecast, and then it does start to warm up, and the snow is gonna melt quick.
And then we have snow next week again.
But like an inch.
But it's still snow.
And it's going to melt really quick. But it's going to, if you get through the next couple of days, like if they start, you're going to have a long few days. But then hopefully the weather will straighten back out, and like you're still going to have to obviously check them and tag them and doctor them if needed. But
you'll know if the Sunday video comes up. And instead of doing a regular video, we do a live stream on Sunday.
It's been a rough.
It's been a rough weekend. So if you get an alert for a live stream Sunday morning, it's been a long few days for me. So, and of course, we'll keep you up to date on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram and all that kind of good stuff. We like to keep that stuff going. So we have a little bit more time here. We're going to run just a little bit. We went a little bit late with Cody, so we're just going to go a little bit longer. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can go for a few more
so if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm not sure if Cody's still hanging out or not, but if he is, I'm sure he'll be able to pop in here too and answer some stuff.
There was a super chat.
There was a super chat. I did see it come through, and now I got to scroll up 900 messages. And from David, thank you for the $1 super chat. That was the only one I think that came in while we were talking to Cody. So, any plans for a dress shirt with the owl logo over the pocket? That's from Larry Parrish. I've kind of So the company that does our shirts for us, the t-shirts are very easy to print. They're just silk screened. They do have some nicer shirts that we can get through them, but they're embroidered.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yeah. And our logo doesn't look super great embroidered. And we don't stock clothing, and because it's hard to keep enough sizes in stock and colors and stuff. So we outsource that. So we just get like a small commission off of each shirt sold through our website, but like they're not here in the attic.
No.
Whereas other stuff like coffee mugs and whiskey glasses and hats, like we do buy that and then sell it to you guys. So clothing is hard because you need 9 million sizes and colors. And
for sure.
we love you all, but we are not going to invest that much in t-shirts because it would be thousands of dollars to stock ourselves in merch. Maybe someday.
Maybe.
But not now.
Farm Boss Bob, he mentioned that he's been here since the first 2 videos.
Oh, wow.
And those first 2 videos, January and February 2017. And
You put out a trailer.
I put out a trailer early
And then
because we were planning on doing something different. And then we had our Feeding the Cows video. And yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy couple of years. We hope that it keeps going. You know, it does get, you know, to me, it gets frustrating occasionally, you know, trying to make a video and trying to work and do everything else. But it's one of those things that does keep me sane, too, at the same time. And it drives me insane.
We're so grounded in the routine of it anymore. Like, it's weird to not that we ever don't make videos, but.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, from Matt L, $5 super chat, and from Mike Wilder, another a $10 super chat. Great show. Extra thumbs up. And if you've got an extra arm, give us an extra thumbs up. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I do have 1 Hawaiian plate, but I would definitely take more. And let's just run through some of these questions and comments here because I like read. I don't get a chance to read. You know, obviously comments come across pretty fast, so it is kind of it's kind of hard to get in here and read them. And a lot of times I'll come back afterwards and scroll through and read them. I don't even really watch the video. I just scroll through the comments and just see what we have. But why is there a bike by the gate?
Why isn't there a bike by the gate?
So that's actually my bike. Before we came here, I was actually big into mountain biking and stuff like that. When I worked in radio and I sat in office all day,
lived in Colorado.
And I lived in Colorado, and that's how I kept in shape. And so I still have a really nice, you know, $1,000 mountain bike or whatever it costs.
It sits outside now.
Now
it's not that nice.
Well, it was nice at the time.
It's all rusty.
But the kids have been, when the weather was nice, the kids were out riding their bikes.
They just got new bikes as early Easter gifts.
Right.
So we've been riding bikes.
So I've been out riding bike with them, and there was actually a couple cows that got in through that gate. I left the gate open, and I went and jumped on the bike and chased them out with the bike. And then I just parked the bike there by the gate, and then it snowed, and so now it's sitting there in the snow. But yes, that is why there's a bike sitting there.
Thank you, JB Weld, for the $5 super chat.
Yes, thank you very much. Oh, you said something. Is there any way to know which bull sired a particular calf? No, actually not. Really, I mean, without doing, you know, DNA testing or something like that.
And it's not. We're not selling registered calves. Like we buy registered bulls. We have bought some. My mom bought some registered heifers. Not Herefords, some registered heifers. But we're not tracking. So and we're not selling registered Black Angus calves. So. When everybody gets thrown in the same pasture, there's no way to know.
Yeah, really. Unless we all go on Maury and we do some DNA testing.
You are not the father.
Who's the baby daddy? Who owes some money here? And then you have 2 bulls fighting over, and then you got security coming in, and then, oh my gosh, it'd just be horrible. We need to have a Maury live stream with the cows and a couple bulls and security coming in. So if somebody's an animator and could animate that, that would be awesome. I would watch that cartoon. I would watch that in a minute. But go check cows on your bike. That would make a great. I actually thought about that. You stole my idea.
You checked cows on the little gator the other day.
I did. So if you were watching the webcam one day, I went out on the little gator to check. That's horrible because the little gator has 0 suspension.
It's the gator I use in the garden. So if you've watched my gardening videos like last summer,
it's Gilbert's old gator.
Yeah, it's like a golf cart.
Yeah, and it has no suspension. So I was out there bouncing across the field, and I came back. And
it's just like, why?
Why did
I saw you go over the ramp? The ramp, because that's pretty rough even to get over the ramp.
Oh yeah, it's not made for those little tiny tires.
We want to do a race. Should I tell them about our race?
You could tell them about the race.
I'm going to drive my gator. Mike's going to drive his gator. And Nick's going to come down in his Razor that has all the bells and whistles. And we're going to see who wins. Not me.
I guarantee you that I'm not going to win either. Our gator has enough problems right now, and we're hoping the gator makes it through calving, and then it's going to need a lot of work.
It needs a little.
It needs some
it
TLC.
Needs a little get up and go.
Either needs a new engine or it needs a new head, one or the other.
It's a little. It's a little lacking.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
got
throttle.
not much power juice going on there. So, but yeah, thank you, JB Weld. Child support on 250 kids would be a lot more than $2. If I paid child support on those guys, or if the bulls don't even have a job except for 2 months out of the year. 2 months out of the year, the rest of the time they're slackers.
I'm really beginning to wonder if did they wait around for like a week?
Maybe they wined and dined.
There was a lot of courting going on.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, they're really weird. Purpose of a lead steer. I've seen this question pop up a couple times. We have a lead steer. He's that big white steer that you see out there. His name is Cracker Jack. And his purpose is to lead the cows around. He's, how old is he? 9 years old? 8 years old? Something like that. 8 years old.
Was he born in?
I think he's 8.
In 9?
He might have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's 8 years old. His whole job is he wasn't hand raised, but afterwards after I took him off his mom, then I raised him there, and he was halter broke, and he would come to the bucket and all that kind of good stuff for feed. So you can pretty much lead him anywhere, and then the cows follow him.
He really helps getting the bulls off of the cows.
He does. He helps move bulls for me. He helps separate bulls. He gets so excited, and I'm going to really try to get it on film this year. When we put the bulls out, and hopefully YouTube doesn't ban my video again.
We just not monetize it. It'll
Yeah, exactly. So when we put the bulls out, Cracker Jack comes over and meets the bulls. And he's so excited to see them every single year.
He's like, oh my God, there's boys.
There's boys here. So that's always, we're going to try to get that on film this year because he is just excited about it. Let's see, can you buy your beef online? Not right now. It's something we're looking at doing. We have an issue with shipping it. It's expensive, it's heavy to ship, but we are working on that. So.
And even though UPS says it'll be there in 2 days, I don't mean it's going to be there in 2 days.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a compliment for you. Somebody loves your cooking tips. Always nice to see your videos. See, Erin gets in the rut occasionally where she's like, nobody likes my videos, nobody watches them. And
well, I mean, if you look at the numbers, not as many people do watch the cooking videos, which is fine. They're here for ranching and stuff, and it's okay. My favorite type of ice cream, Mackenzie, is mint chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then somebody asked, how are the high tunnels faring in this weather? They're still standing. There's no plastic issues, and I have not been inside.
You were inside the other day. We went in there and put the covers on.
Before the snow. But yeah, I mean, I just put row cover on, and on the way out the door, I said, catch you on the flip side, plants, and hope you make it. So when it's really stormy like this, I just get them ready and essentially put the beds to bed and just hope we get through it. The sun did come out today, so they probably warmed up quite a bit in there. So tomorrow is supposed to be sunny in the afternoon, so I'll go check tomorrow afternoon. Everything in there should be fine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So. Farmer 101, how much does a bull cost? Ours usually average about $3,000 for a bull, somewhere in there.
$3,000 to $50,000. I saw one sell for like $1 million. Was it $1 million?
For the bull?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I do feel bad for him. He does have to put up with a lot of girls a lot longer than the rest of the boys do. So, see, look at all these people that love your cooking videos. Yeah, I know.
There's the people that love the cooking videos, but the vast majority of our audience does not click on the cooking videos. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, the numbers don't lie. But the people that come and watch them love them, and so that's why I keep making them. Mm-hmm. So. I'm not writing a cookbook. It's too much of a project. I'm just going to be honest. I tried to do it. It's really overwhelming. I feel like that cookbook writing is a whole nother skill set. We did talk to somebody who has a cookbook that just came out. They didn't even write it. Well, somebody else wrote it for them. It can take 2 years of development to create a cookbook. And so I know you guys would be super happy with whatever I put out, but I don't think I would be happy with something that I put out by myself. So it's almost like if we want to do a cookbook, like I need to hire a team of people that will help me through that process. I need help. And I'm okay with admitting that I need help. Like cookbook writing and cooking are different skill sets. Mm-hmm. So I'll just keep making videos for you guys.
All right. Anything else that's going on that you want to talk about? we can wrap things up here. The little guy, number one, has been living out there in the snow and the wet weather here over the last few days, and actually doing pretty well, and been hanging out with Mom and the other cows as they've been hanging out in pretty much any dry spot they can find. This is where I actually fed this morning, and of course they eat most of their hay, but they are bedding on some of it, which really doesn't bother me this time of year.
Oh, look, he's getting a drink.
Yeah, exactly. If I had to bring in straw anyway, it would really not make that much of a difference to me. So he's just been hanging out with the big kids, and
he's got to be so lonely.
He's bored. You can tell. He's just like, find me something to do.
Oh, we're gonna play a game. Pooping or calving? Someone is pooping.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Ranch Talk Live. Please subscribe and join us as we continue to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary.
Yeah,
Special thanks to our
exactly. I pushed the wrong button.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm getting punchy.
geez,
I'm getting punchy. I'm doing it again. There we go. We're back. Okay. I just saw a picture of the calf. I was all excited. There's the calf. Yeah, and we the flooding in Nebraska, Farmer 101, is obviously a very bad thing. There are, I actually meant to write down some of these things today, and I was going to take a look at them, but and pass them on. But I think we're going to be doing some social media posts about where you can help out in Nebraska. There's a bunch of really good places to do it, and they are asking for donations.
Yeah,
so.
and we haven't been quick to post on that.
I've been waiting to make sure that whoever we start pushing people towards to do any type of, that's where, a good thing that you want to make them go to.
We want to make sure that if we're sharing that information with you guys, that it's a legitimate source, and that money is, as much of that money as can go to farmers and ranchers in Nebraska that are actually suffering from the floods, that the money is going to their hands. Not all charities, of course, take a huge cut, but
some do.
There's always opportunistic people that will take advantage. So.
And there's been a lot of charities that have popped up since this happened.
Yeah, so if typically we do not post on social media about like big social issues. This is, a neighboring state, and hit the agriculture community really hard, but before we post something, we want to really make sure that it is a legitimate site, especially if we're sharing information about how you guys can share money with those people affected by the flooding. So if you've already done that, thank you so much. Those farmers and ranchers desperately need some help. And the more we can help them now, the more it's all going to help all of us later, because the entire country is going to be affected by those floods.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you to our moderators once again. Of course, Matt here hanging out with us, Bill, William. Thank you guys for keeping the peace and keeping everybody entertained. I tell the moderators that you guys are more like rodeo clowns to me. Your job here is to keep the place safe, but it's also to have fun, and that's what we all want to do here. And thanks to moderators for letting us do that and allow us to do this, because without them, we couldn't do it. There's no way. There's no way that we could try to maintain what's going on and be able to do this without them. So thank you very much, guys. Bill just hit it right on the head there. Hit that like button if you like what you see. That tells YouTube and tells other people that are watching YouTube that you like the same kind of things. So it's all connections. So make sure that you like our videos. Subscribe if you haven't. You'd be surprised to know that 60% of the people that watch our videos aren't subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get notifications when we go live, because next time we have a calf, hopefully we'll be able to go live and we'll be able to hang out right there with us as we have a calf.
Yeah, it's getting dark. You better go.
It's getting dark, so I've got to head outside. Go check that cow. If you see me go live here in about 3 minutes, that's probably what's going on.
They're not going to be able to see the calf before.
I've got lights on the gator. I can shine lights.
I know she's going to get stage fright.
She will.
If you
suck it right back in there.
Giant light and a camera on me, I would have been like, nope.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great night. We will see you again on Sunday as we do this all over again.
If you missed the beginning, the replay will be up on YouTube in just a few minutes, and you can watch what you missed. So thank you, guys.
Go back and watch it all. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Ranch Talk Live. Please subscribe and join us as we continue to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Special thanks to our moderators and the members of the Barn Owls, our special advisory group that helps us behind the scenes. If you'd like more from the ranch, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as on our weekly podcast, Beyond the Ranch, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Don't forget to check out All Things Agriculture, a special Facebook group where you can ask questions and learn about agriculture all over the world. Until we see you again on Sunday, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.